Thank you for letting me come and speak to you today to go over the program that I have developed for you to get you ready for your upcoming scholarship and soccer scholarship out to your university. So congratulations. So here we are, just my soccer conditioning program I have developed for you. The first things I want to go over are just basically an outline of what the objectives are going to be today with our presentation. First of all, I want to go over the profile of a soccer player, just so we get an understanding of what you need to get yourselves ready in order to be able to compete at that level. Then we're going to go over your profile. So we're going to go over a little bit about what your physical analysis has told us about what we need to work on in order to get you prepared so you can meet those requirements. And of course, we'll talk a little bit about the training program that I've developed that will hopefully adapt you into those weaknesses. So we've got here the physical requirements of a soccer player. There's three different areas here. There's the fitness components themselves, so we'll talk about those fitness areas. The tests that they test to quantify those fitness components, and then we'll also go over some of the common injuries that are associated when it comes to soccer. So talking about the fitness components, there's the overall physical quality of a soccer player is crucial. There's so many different elements that you have to be strong in. And some of those areas are, of course, your aerobic energy, so how much energy you have to last for the whole 10 to 11 kilometers of a match. Your anaerobic power, so how much of that immediate power that you have for the sprinting and heading and all that diving and shuffling that you're going to do. And your strength, strength you're going to need in kicking and leg power and sprint time. And your endurance to maintain that level of performance throughout the entire game, and of course power, which is also important, and that helps you again with your jumping and your kicking. So those are all areas that we need to consider when developing a program for a soccer player because it is so diverse. Some of the ways we test for those are some performance tests. Performance tests can be anything from a 7 by 30 meter sprint test, which tells us what your sprint time might be. Vertical jump test will give us your leg power, and of course your one arm testing will give us your total overall strength. So the results from the data that we get from the results will help us give us an example of what your weaknesses are and what your strengths are, and then we know where we need to fit you in that program design. So very, very important that these tests are done, and we will put you through a battery of tests so that we know where we need to start you. The 7 by 30 meter, again, it's done by running 30 meters as fast as possible, followed by 25-second recovery while jogging back to the start line, and then you repeat that 7 times. So that tests that anaerobic power where that lactic acid starts to build up. That tests that for us so we know how long you can go, how far can you go before you start running out of that immediate energy. And of course, the main important factor there is the faster a player can remove the amount of blood lactate, the faster the recovery time, so the faster you can get back out onto the field. So performance test, again, another one is the counter movement jump test. That will give us what your leg power is. That's a way that we measure how high you can jump. Counter movement meaning it's starting off with flexion of the knees and then you power up, so it gives you a little bit of leverage. And then your 1RM test is your maximum strength. So that's where we get you to do either how much you can lift through bicep curl or squat, lifting the max amount of weight that you possibly can. So that again will give us an idea of where you are. Injuries, when it comes to soccer players, your potential sudden injuries that you may have happen are head injuries, so lacerations, concussions, bruising, knees, there's meniscus tears, and there's medial and lateral collateral ligament tears, ankle and muscles. So those are all areas that you might get those initial sudden injuries when you're out playing a game or even in practice. And some of the long-term injuries that you may experience are like sprains and tears that don't heal, or they're prone to that re-injury. Headaches from undiagnosed concussions, and ACL tears, which are also very hard to heal sometimes if not operated on. So we're going to take a look now at your results from your assessment. So if we take a look here at what you're up against when you head over to university, you've got some of the players are a couple years older than you are, and you'll take a notice here they're a little bit taller. You're a little bit heavier than what they are. which that kind of relates directly to, if we take a look at your sprint time and your jump test, that has a direct correlation between that body weight and jumping height. So you're really strong in your flexibility and your lower leg power, but of course some areas of concern that we want to take a look at are peak performance and then body fat percentages. VO2, meaning how much of that energy do you have to last you for those 90 minutes, and the anaerobic power, so again, how much energy you have. How can you go 10 seconds without getting exhausted? Can you go 15 seconds without getting exhausted? Those are all areas that will really take you into that competitive edge, give you that competitive edge that you need to compete with those players. So taking a look at all of those variables, I would say that some of the main priorities here are going to be to increase the aerobic endurance, so your VO2 max. Again, giving you that energy to last you for that entire game. Anaerobic power, again, giving you that stored oxygen that's in that muscles that will give you the power you need to last you for those really high sprinting that you need for sprinting out to the ball without dying out before your opponent. And then decreased body fat. That will come with our increasing the aerobic endurance, because the more calories we burn, that'll help with that, just with the plan itself. And then that'll help us in your decreasing your sprint times and the increase in vertical jump height. So that's where I would like to focus on. So taking those and putting them into your program, we've got 20 weeks, and we want to break that down into 3 phases. We have our prep phase and our competitive phase, and then our transition phase is where we take the time to retest. And we also give you time to rest. Your body needs to heal, and in order for those adaptations to happen, they need to do it at a level where you're resting. So the prep phase, that's going to get you ready for your competitive phase. That's going to get all your ligaments and all your skeletal muscles ready, strengthen up from the inside out, get you familiar with some of the movements, start that neurological system working so that your muscles are working in synergies. And then we're going to get the competitive phase. That's where we're going to start adding some power moves, really get you peaking into that anaerobic endurance, and then of course we're going to head on into the transition. We don't have much time, but I think we're not that far off, so I think we can get you there if we follow the program. So again, really important that we take that transition phase to give you time to heal. So taking a look at your schedule, it's going to be pretty busy. Monday you have team practice, because you are playing with a team right now, and you're going to continue to play with that team until it comes time to leave. Tuesday you've got a team practice, and then we'll do your training session right after that. We're going to use the team practice as part of your cardio portion, and then we'll get a training session right after that with some of those intervals and circuits that I have planned out. And on Wednesday, you'll have a game. Thursday, we want that to be a rest, an active rest, so either, very, very light activity. Friday will be another team practice and training session. Saturday, we'll have a game. And then Sunday is complete rest, so that your body gets a lot of time to rest. We're going to keep an eye on that. There might be some areas there where that's actually too much, and then we might have to either lean back on one of the practices or even on one of the games. There is that possibility of having that overloading the system, and then you're more prone to injury. So we're going to want to look at that really carefully, and then if we need to make adjustments, we'll do them in there. So here we are, we're at the end of the program, and just want to give you an idea of what might be available to you in terms of what I have in store for the types of exercise programs for you. So we're going to be doing some circuit style training, again talking about building up some strength and building up some endurance. We've got some dumbbell squats in there. We've got some squat jumps. That's more kind of in that first phase. In the second phase, you're going to see some more power moves. So some power ice skaters, some lateral side-to-side movements. We're going to see some split squats. So now we're starting to add some jump in there. Depth jumps, if you're going from one step lower and then to another. Really good for building up some good power in those legs. And then, of course, some plyometrics and even some sled towing will build a lot of power in those legs. So speaking of those in itself is great, but let's have a look and we'll get you to try out some of these exercises. So you've warmed up, you're all ready to go. So why don't you come over here and I'll just show you to just follow me. So come over here and just stand right here and then you can face the camera. So one of the ones that we're going to be doing is a dumbbell squat. I don't have any dumbbells right now because like I say, we're not fully warmed up, but assuming you have some dumbbells in your hand, open up, bring your shoulders back, get up nice and stand up nice and tall. There you go. Now you want to take your legs and you want them to be about hip width apart. That's it. And now we're going to start sitting down. I want you to sit down and get that weight onto your heels. Keep those knees up and then power all the way up. That's it. Nice. Come back down. So this we're doing in a nice, slow, and controlled motion. But when we're in a circuit, we want to try and go down and up and do complete range of motion in a circuit. So you're coming down and up, right? So with those weights, right now that might seem a little easy, but with some weights in that hand, that'll get your heart rate up, that'll get you sweating. So we're going to do that circuit style. So you're going to go from one exercise to another. Another exercise that you might find in that first phase will be like just a regular forward lunge. And again, we want to bring 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. Have both toes pointed straight ahead. And now you want to bring that back knee down to the floor. So just lunge it back. Try not to bring that front leg forward. You want to go straight down. Straight down. That's it. And power up through that forward leg. Open up through the chest, down, and up. So again, that might be something else that you would see in that first phase. Something you would see more powerful in that second phase, if you want to just move over a little bit that way, is just go side to side. Just do a side to side step. That's it. Now bring your arms up, sucking through the tummy. Now imagine you're skating down the ice. Power off. Power. Power. Now get lots of power in there. That's it. Again, that would be something that we would see in an interval. So I would give you so much time, and I would want you to complete as many of those in a certain amount of time. The last one that we'll just show you here today is another power move. So in that first one, we did that forward lunge. So coming down. So starting in this position, we're going to call this a split squat jump. So come down, power up. That's it. Power up. Power up. Now get the arms in. Power up. Power up. So again, that's something that we would do, and we would try and get you in so many in a specific amount of time. So I hope you liked my presentation today. Good luck.